In this tutorial, we are practically going to learn how to create this kind of animation using CSS3 transform and making this animation infinite such that there is no need to make any kind of hover action. So this is the main thing that we are going to learn today. Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. In this tutorial, we are going to know about how to introduce CSS3 keyframe animation to making this kind of animation. That means the animated multiple background images with the aid of CSS3 keyframe animation. This thing is super easy to do, super easy to perform. And the second thing is no JavaScript is practically required in this case. So once again, I have created two separate pages, index.html and stylesheet.css, and let's take a look at those images that we are about to use in this tutorial. That means all these images, those are practically separate images, separate PNG images that are being used over here. So this is the first image, this is the earth.png image. As we can see, this is the individual image of this planet. And this is the second image, galaxybg.png, that we'll be using into this animation action. And there's the night sky bg.png, as we can see over here. This is the thing that has been created. This is the night sky bg.png, and the last but not least, we have created a separate stars.png that we can see. So this is the thing that we will be noticing, that we will be experiencing into the background of HTML page. The main background color of this HTML page is black. So let's hop into our tutorial. I have created a stylesheet.css where I have placed all these codings, and this is the universal selector and this is the default selector that I have placed individually. As I have told you that the background color is black, so I have poured a background color to this HTML page, and the body is at a height of 100%, and an ID has been created with an ID name as background. And in index.html, I have used HTML5. As we can see, this is the declaration of HTML5. Now let's get back to stylesheet.css and start coding. So first of all, I am providing here the first image. So I am placing this earth.bg.png over here, earth11.png. And all we are going to do, we are mentioning some position over here. As we can see, from left it will be leaving a total margin of 90%, and from top it will be leaving a total margin of, no, I am providing it 20% per se. Then after this I am attributing this sort of things. Let's make the position absolute, not relative here. Now before making any move over here, first of all, let's get back to index.html, call this ID name. Now let's get back to our project, and this is the project actually originally that we have created at the first condition where nothing else were here except this default selector attribution, which had a background color of black. So this was in the first case. Now let's reload and see what happens after we make those codings. Now we can see here that this earth.png, this has been appeared over here, and it is repeating itself. As we never mentioned any kind of repetition attribute over here, so all we need to do, we need to mention here no repeat. Just reload, and we can see that after no repeat attribute, this earth.png is appearing right over where actually we wanted it to. Now let's think about the animation. So all I am doing over here, I am creating this animation. I name it as animated BG, which has a 50-second of duration, and the animation type will be linear. That means it will be maintaining a flat speed from start to end. I am just mentioning this iteration count, which is infinite. Now all I need to do, we need to I hope you previously remembered the term always reuse but do not recreate. So this is the same thing that we are doing here. I am copying this animation name and pasting it here to avoid any kind of errors. Now there goes the animation. Now it may arise some question why this kind of codings over here. As we can see that this is the initial condition, initial position of the planet. From this position it will be marching towards this position, which is at a minus 20% margin from left and 20% margin from top. This percentage has been intact, it is never changed, as we can see here. Now all we have to do, we have to press Ctrl S and reload. Now we can see that an animation has been initiated, and slowly this planet Earth, this planet is practically moving from extreme left to its right condition, and this whole animation will be taking place for 50 seconds. Now if we get back to our, actually what we want that this planet will be marching out from its extreme left, and it will be marching out again, and it will be converging out of this canvas, out of this HTML browser, as we can see, beyond its viewport, and it will be disappearing. So all we need to do then, we need to increase this extreme margin. As we can see over here that this planet is now emerging out from extreme right, and it is now practically moving towards its extreme left, and it will be out of the scope of this viewport. That is why we have made these amendments in the position of this planet. As we can see, it has been enhanced to 120%, and it is a positive value, and from this positive value it is practically moving towards a negative value. That means it is moving opposite to this left margin. So till then it is perfect, it has no problem. Now let's introduce rest of the images. So let's get back to our project, and over here all we need to do, we need to create those multiple backgrounds. Now if we just press Ctrl S and get back to our project and reload, now we can see that this thing is appearing over here. And we also may notice that without any kind of animation attribution, all these things are getting animated. You see, all these things are moving, however slow it is. All of them are practically moving, and practically they are moving at a different speed, as we can see over here. So what is the main cause behind it? This is the main question, and this is the question that I would like to ask to you. Now let's make some attribution to this. So we are getting back to our project, and here we have placed some additional background positions. So all we need to do first, we need to mention them over here. These are the initial positions that has been mentioned over here. Now as we have mentioned these initial positions, all we need to do now, we need to mention this final position. So that is what we are going to do. So as we can see, now let's get back to our project and reload. Now another thing, all we need to do, we need to make a certain change over here. We will be checking the rest of the things. Okay, it's alright so far. We are just changing this value over here from this 30,000 percentage. I have just reduced it to 10,000 minus 10,000 percentage, and let's now press Ctrl S and get back to our project, reload. And now we can see that this galaxy bg.png, it is practically shifting towards the right, and so now we can see that each and every components of this HTML page that is moving, that is practically being animated. That means this animated background, this Earth1 PNG, this star field, this night sky, all these things, those are moving with a different speed, with a varying speed, and that is why it is providing practically a 3D effect. And this animation is taking place for 50 seconds, and after 50 seconds it is just triggering being recurrent over here. It is just repeating itself, and we can see everything is now happening over here. Now it is time for the question of the day. The question is, we have seen previously that despite we haven't provided any this kind of things in the first place, we didn't provide practically any of these values over here, right? I hope you remember. Still we can see that if we reload, we can see that the animation process is continuing. However mild it is, we can see that it is all of them, they are being shifted practically. None of them are practically being unused over here. All of them are shifting. So the question is, how this is possible and what is the mechanism behind it? What is the code behind it that is practically drifting these individual backgrounds without mentioning any of these codes over here? So this is the question of the day. You have to solve this question and you have to comment us with the result, with the answer you have found. Write us back with this comment, and if you have any kind of questions with this tutorial or regarding any of our previous tutorials, then you can comment us back at any time, and we will be communicating with you within 2 business days, within 48 hours. And another thing, we need to mention these web hack codes as we and always the standard syntax comes at the end. Now just press Ctrl S, get back to your project and reload, and now you can see that this animation is moving on. So we have placed these web hack codes over here. So this is all for this tutorial. Hope you have liked our tutorial. If you have liked our tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button. Hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. Till then, bye.